Oh, do I have a fun one for you today. And I love these kind of patterns, just straight up, big, gaudy attractor dry flies. They're great for brook trout or just anytime you're fishing fast riffled water and you need something that's going to float well that you and the fish are going to be able to see. And this one comes to us from a book that I was just recommended to check out by Travis Hughes. Travis recommended it. The book is by Bruce Staples. It's called Trout Country Flies from Greater Yellowstone Area Masters. And I can't believe I haven't seen or heard of this book. It was published in 2002. I'm going to tie a few more flies from it, and I'll probably do a review on it soon. But so far, I am loving this book, so thank you, Travis, for recommending it. And the first pattern I'm going to do out of here, it's called the Madison. It does remind you a little bit of a Royal Coachman. It's got that same kind of style, upright wing, either made out of deer hair or calf tail. It's got Lady Amherst pheasant tippets for a tail, and then a Peacock herl body with a band in the middle. But it was a fun pattern to tie, and you know this thing is going to be a fun one to fish. So there it is in the vise, a Madison of unknown origin, created sometime in the 1930s or 40s. Now critiquing this one, that tail is a little bit long. I do like long tails on my mayflies and certainly attractor patterns, but I think that one's a bit too long. And that wing is deer body hair. The recipe says deer body hair or calf tail. So we'll try this one with calf tail and see if we like it any better. Sizes for this are 10 or 12. So that's a size 12 standard length barbless dry fly hook. Black thread, 52 denier. I'm going to catch it in somewhere up here in the front third or so. Now I'm going to take a little bit of this calf tail hair, put it in my stacker. And if you've ever tried stacking calf tail, you'll know it doesn't stack that easily. So we'll see how this did. Okay, it's stacked a little bit right there, but we're going to work with it. So I want it to be kind of long, longer than what my hackle is going to be, so I'm going to catch it in about right here. And I don't think this, just by looking at this fly and judging the last one I tied, this isn't necessarily for flotation. I think it's just the wing to make it more visible. So when you've got enough wraps securing that, last few are pretty tight, what I do, I lift this up at about a 30-degree angle right here, try to put my scissors parallel to my hook, and then just snip it off right there. And you might be able to get a little bit of a taper when you do that. So let's see. Yeah, we did a little bit. I think we're gonna be okay. So I'm gonna prop these up. I can go one wrap forward, and yeah, maybe that right there. Now I'm going to prop them up, several wraps up under here, because I want about at least 3 or 4 wraps of hackle in front of these wings. So we got them propped kind of up. We're still not all the way up, but we'll be fine. And I do want them spent. Recipe says upright and split. So I'm going to just kind of judge this by eye. To, let's see, okay, I want to put some X wraps in between these right here. That one is bunching up a little bit on me right there, so I'm gonna go immediately right here and then go back. So that's kind of one X wrap right there. You see they're split, but it's not gonna hold. So, I mean, I need at least 2 or 3 more right here. This is a very thin thread, 52 denier. So we'll try this a couple more times and see what we got. Okay, those are they're spent pretty well. Now they are leaning forward. I want them leaning forward, maybe not that much, but we can prop them back up with our hackle when we're wrapping that. And for the tail, Lady Amherst pheasant tippets. And a trick I do with these, whether it's Lady Amherst or golden pheasant tippets, I'll grab the tips, put my scissors in here, and however many I want, let's go about 8, snip it off. Now you can pull the bulk of the feather out and you've still got these tips aligned. So let's judge our length. Remember, I want this one to be a little shorter than the last one, so let's go about right there. and they're gonna unmarry, and that's fine, we really want that. But that little trick I just did kind of keeps the tips aligned. So we got our tips aligned right there, and that's gonna look just fine. Do have a little bit of excess right here. I could probably bury that, but I'm gonna snip it. And now for the main part of the body, peacock herl. Got 3 strands right here. I'm just gonna lay it down between the wings, catch it in. Those first couple inches are kind of brittle, so I'm gonna break those off here in a second. Okay, that should work. Now, spin these together into rope if you want, or not. I wouldn't really worry too much about that. We're gonna do 2 wraps back here and judge it. You might be able to get 3. That's 2. I think that's gonna be plenty. We'll go ahead and catch it off. And I'm gonna catch it off on the top of the fly so that I can lay these forward again. And then you could cut these and then tie them in again, but it's probably a little bit easier just to leave them on, lay them forward, and then take your thread just a little bit farther forward. Now the middle part of the body, just some white floss. If this was a Royal Coachman, of course this would be red, but this is a Madison attractor dry fly, and it's white. So we can pull that back. I'm gonna snip the front of that floss here in a second. Okay, I think that's gonna work right there with our thread just a little bit forward of that peacock herl. We should go ahead and snip this. It'll be easier to do right now. And now let's wrap this white middle part of the body. And how thick, it's totally up to you, I suppose. I want at least 2 layers so that you can see this white. So I'm gonna go up and then back and then up again, and I'll catch it off probably this next wrap here. Okay, the middle of that is looking fine. Let's snip this excess floss. And now I'm going to take my thread up in front of this herl, still behind the wing. And now we'll put the front part of our body here, just like we did the back. 2 or 3 wraps should be fine. Now our last component, Grizzly dry fly hackle. Now I suppose while my thread's up here, I could put a couple more wraps up in front of that wing to try and prop it up, but I'm not really gonna worry about that. I'm just gonna catch this in right behind the wings. I want at least 2 wraps behind them, and then hopefully 3 or so in front. So we got that stem secured. Let's go ahead and snip this excess. And now let's wrap this hackle. I only have maybe 3 inches of feather here. I should probably grab my hackle pliers, but I didn't. So let's see if we can pull this off. That is 2 wraps behind it. Let's pull this wing back, and maybe these wraps right here will help prop that wing back up into the position we want. Okay, that's 3 in front. Do I want to live on the edge and try to get 1 more? Yeah, I do. Okay, that is 4. So let's secure this feather with 2 wraps. And before I snip that excess feather off, I would just kind of lick my fingers and then pull everything back and try to get some room here for my whip finish. Got a couple barbs going forward, but that's fine. I'm going to be able to trim those or singe them. I've got some room for my whip finish here. And those wings, yep, they're propped up pretty good, kind of like I want. So let's do our cleanup here. All right, bear with me a second while I put this head cement on it because I want to show you another tip after I do that. So just the smallest drop of UV resin right there. Don't let it wick down into your eye. And we'll harden this up. And the last tip or hack I want to show you, I keep some tippet on my bench. This is 4X, you can see by a road on the tape there, just to make sure I haven't clobbered the eye. If I can get this 4X tippet up through there, then I know I can get 5X through when I'm on the river. So I can, so we got a fishable fly here. So that's it, my friends. I think we got that tail looking a little bit better on this one, and I like the calf tail wing just a little bit better than the deer hair. So I appreciate you watching. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next time.